Welcome to Outside Explorer.
We're with Mike and Caleb from Zion Mountain School. Guys, what are we doing today?
You know, we're gonna do some rock climbing and we're gonna learn on how to be safe on the rock and mostly have fun. So we're gonna kind of gear up here at the car and then head out to our site and do some climbing for the day.
Great, you guys get your stuff and I'll meet you there.
Cool.
Sounds good.
All right, Tirza, do you have your harness, helmet, climbing shoes, food and water?
Got it all. Got it all. Some
Sweet.
beef jerky to go.
There it is. All right, let's go do it.
Yeah.
This is where we're going to be kind of climbing for the day. You can see there's a bunch of sport climbs, some face climbing, and we've got some cool cracks here as well.
Awesome. So awesome.
We're here in the school room just outside of Zion National Park. We're going to be climbing some big overhanging face climbs. This guy right here is called Detention Center. It's a really fun overhanging route that I think is really good to practice overhanging sport climbing technique, mainly on Navajo sandstone today. Caleb and I own Zion Mountain School and we offer year-round guiding, rock climbing, guided trips and courses, along with canyoneering courses, ice climbing and backcountry skiing. And we're the only certified rock climbing guides of Southern Utah.
Right now, Mike's getting tied into the end of the rope here, and I'm getting ready to get him on belay.
Safety first always. I'm tied in properly to my hard points. Buckle's all good. You're loaded properly on your belay device, and your harness is good. Here you go.
All right.
All right, I'm climbing.
All right, climb on. You're on belay, Mike.
When we climb up, especially on this steep overhanging stuff, we want to maintain straight arms as long as we can. You know, if we have bent arms, we're just gonna, as we say, pump ourselves out and just get tired. It's important too, Tirza, to have a bad European accent as you climb. So we'll climb like this now.
As Mike climbs up, I'm feeding him out rope and maintaining the least amount of distance of rope between he and I. Purpose of the belay is that Mike slips and falls and I'm going to catch him. Mike just made it through the hard part of the climb here, which we call the crux. And he's getting up and getting ready to clip the anchor at the top and get lowered off.
This is a crack climb now. We're going to be focusing on utilizing crack climbing techniques in order to climb up the route. Okay, so now instead of clipping fixed bolts, I'm going to be placing various camming units, spring-loaded devices inside the rock, good quality rock, and then clip my rope to it, kind of like such, so that if I do fall, hopefully this catches me.
Hopefully.
Important thing to remember is obviously not to fall. So the way that we can not fall is by putting our hands and our feet inside the crack. When we find a crack somewhere around 2 inches or so, that means that we can put our hands inside. And if we point our thumb towards our pinky finger, it increases a bigger pad that we can kind of lock off on. Yeah. So the other thing that we can do, obviously, for our feet is if we put our foot inside that same crack with our pinky toe down, we can then stand up on our foot and that way keep all of our weight on our feet,
Okay.
Which is the key to climbing. Something I'm just going to have you focus on as we keep climbing is continuously look at your feet so you know exactly where you're stepping.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah, sounds good.
Final checks, knot, harness is good, you're loaded properly with the carabiner
Double
lock.
backed.
And you're double
nice
backed.
and high. Locked down.
All right, Tirza,
Gotcha.
give me one of these. Climbing. We call this 3D climbing. You kind of have to keep your head on swivel, keep looking around for holds.
3D climbing.
Probably when you start climbing, that'll come to life a little bit more for you. So right about here, this is where the 3D starts coming into it. And you can actually use this wall behind you and get a good stem. So much so that if it's good enough, you can go hands-free, which is kind of nice.
So So I'm just gonna clean up this area. Man, this was awesome. I love sandstone. Thank you so much for taking me out. And if other people want to get in touch with you for private courses and trips, how can they do so?
Yeah, you can find out more on our website at www.zionmountainschool.com or visit us at our shop in Springdale, Utah at the entrance to Zion National Park. Stay tuned for more Outside Explore.
Let's go pack up.
All right.